This is a 1972 CJ6 Nanchang military trainer from the Chinese Air Force. In this video I'm going to show you the instrument panel in detail and some of the characteristics of this airplane. This airplane shared many of the systems of the Russian Yak-52. The CJ6 Nanchang started production in the 1950s and currently is still being produced. This airplane has a pneumatic system, so it has a compressor that is being charged during flight, and it has air tank. So the brakes, the starter, the flaps, and the landing gear are all pneumatic. Start from the left, main air supply valve. This is the flap handle, mixture, throttle, RPM, carb heat, on-off fuel. This is the indicator for the amount of air in the tank. These are the magnetos. This is the trim, lamp, another lamp for the instruments, cowl grills, open close, landing light, navigation lights. This is the clock, airspeed indicator in kilometers an hour. This is the equivalent of manifold pressure, altimeter, RPMs, cylinder head, carb temp gauge, ammeter, sleep indicator. In this gauge we have oil temperature on the top, fuel pressure on the left, and oil pressure on the right. Vertical speed indicator, horizontal is in a different position than the western horizontal. This has the blue at the bottom and the brown on top. I don't know the reasoning for that. The G meter. This instrument is for doing ILSs. It's kind of old. Generator warning. This airplane has an alternator, has been changed to an alternator, so it still works for the alternator as a warning. Fuel tank. So with this switch you can see right tank, left tank. These are the lights for when you have 10 liters and 10 liters. Transponder. This is the panel switch for the Alpha Systems angle of attack indicator. Radio. This is the emergency tank gauge, so it shows you how much air you have on the emergency tank. This one is the oil cooler, open, close. This is the emergency tank valve. This is the switch for the ADSB. Hobbs meter, and this is the primer. This airplane has a simple 296 Garmin GPS. This is the angle of attack indicator by Alpha Systems. I also like to put the ball there to look outside all the time. And the compass. This is a mirror. The red square next to the magnetos is the lid for the starter. This is an airplane with pneumatic system, so this is the brake. And the way you taxi is moving the pedal to where you want to brake, and then you use the lever for braking. Forgot to mention, this is the primer and the switches for the ELT. These are the switches for the different instruments: radio, strobe, gyro, turn and bank, pitot heat, oil temp, master. This is to lock the gear. Unlock. Always this on when it's on the ground. This is where the landing gear lights are on or off. This airplane has a parachute. So you sit on the parachute, then you put the parachute, and then on top of that you put a 5-point harness. This is a very roomy and comfortable cockpit for a warbird. In the rear we have the old radio, old Chinese radio. It doesn't work, but it was kept for having some authenticity. This is the instrument panel on the back. It has the same instruments as on the front. The red button on top of the stick is to override the brake lever from the pilot. This used to be an airplane for instructions, so the rear cockpit will override anything for the pilot. Throttle mixture, RPM, flap lever, and also the parachute. The engine on the CJ6 Nanchang is a 9-cylinder Husai engine, 285 horsepower. As a typical radial, they always leak. Look at the size of the magnetos, they're huge. This is the starter. This airplane is built like a tractor. These are the grills you close or open for cooling the cylinders. You can see on the firewall the air check valves and the air hoses. They are made out of aluminum. You can hear the pneumatic system when we are cycling the gear. This is the same sound you would hear in the cockpit.
3 reds, then back down. 3 greens. Alright, over.
Landing gear is very strong, it's a trailing link. Very robust. This airplane came with VGs when I bought it. As you can see, the propeller turns the opposite way from the Western airplanes. So when you're going to take off or climbing, you have to press left rudder instead of right. And also when you're diving, you have to press right rudder. It's not difficult to get used to it. So because of that torque, this airplane makes quicker aileron runs to the right than to the left. This airplane is a lot of fun to fly, very quick response. The ailerons have push rods instead of cables, and the ailerons are fabric and the elevator and rudder are fabric. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want to support Backcountry 182, please join me on Patreon. See you next time. It is very easy to join, to be a patron of Backcountry 182. Go to the YouTube channel. On the right hand side there is the link, and then it takes you to the Patreon page. Here you can see all the tiers and what is all about the support for Backcountry 182 YouTube channel. Also, another way to access the Patreon link is in the description of the video I put in YouTube. On Backcountry 182 channel there is a link for Patreon, so just click on that and it will take you to the page. Thank you for watching. It would be amazing if you guys are interested and give some support.